The song Ama 2000 is for like someone like very special, you know. And that someone very special, like you're looking at him right now. I don't know if you'll see him, only me, I know him, so I can tell you about him, and that's my inner child. And his name is Mvelo. And when he was a kid, he was rejected and he was put into exile, into the shadows, and now he's rising and finally can tell his story. His body is telling the story anyway. His body's showing. So now he's learning how to speak, speech therapy, and and express all the thoughts that he could never express, and name all the wounds that he could never name. So as much as I would love to say, like, of course, the song "Ama 2000," it was a feeling after I just received a new chick, it was promising, and like I was like, this is my new girl. It started like that. It was me. Let me say, it was always the feelings of me projecting into girls, like all the girls where I had chemistry and connection. And I always thought it was all about the girls outside, like so I was projecting. However, I found out that, like, when I sing Toluchero Musha, I was actually talking about the inner feminine within me, the part of me that was asking me to feel, like women feel, like, the feminine energy feels, and like, being programmed as a masculine for so long, and like, or I needed that union of like, oh man, like, the soft side of me, you know because I've been criticized of that, like, oh, you soft, and like I'm like, oh, bro, I wanna be soft now, because those are the parts of me that have been denied. You can't be soft, you can't be lazy, you have to be strong all the time, and so like what I love with this album, Twin Flame, and like the music that I've just released now is because of like, I did it sober. I allowed myself to feel. I was fasting, and some days I was eating two meals, sometimes one meal. So I was sober, and like I'm very happy, to be where we are now. And I want to talk about the fact that addiction is never a choice. The narrative that addiction is a choice is the one that's causing so much criticism in family. However, addiction is a silent child, trying to speak, trying to get attention, trying to be heard. So he's gonna do anything to be heard. So let's have compassion on ourselves. We've been through a lot as a country, as South Africans. We've been through a lot, like 600 years, colonialism, apartheid, political violence in Togoza and other like Eastern, and like Soweto also, like, so like we've been through a lot as like the black people, like we and what has the most is that we criticize ourselves, and we forgot that, guys, like, we have wounds, and it's like, we hurting ourselves now. And I think we must just never forget where we come from, and like, oh, always remember who we are, and like, and like, no matter how much money you have, never be stingy, because I hated stingy people. It was a pattern I had also, but like hoarding money, hoarding food, and I was like, bro, like, it's gotta change. And I decided, like, I got my guys, like, I'm catching you guys because I'm done surviving, because people use you for surviving. You're always emotionally available to everybody while abandoning yourself. So choose yourself. Yes, I'm number 2000. I'm actually talking to the inner child, the youth in me. The fall of the innocence. The childhood, the youth that was robbed, because of I was unaware, I was unconscious. And what I can do now is speak to the 2000, to the new youth, and like, and let them know what's going on. Like, that's what's up. It's Velocity. Samba number 2000. And number 2000 also mean money, The government has to give each and everyone 2000 rands who's unemployed. Not because they're unemployed, but give them because of the trauma we suffered, during the political violence, some sort of reparations, like, because people really suffer, and people are afraid to speak about their wounds. However, it's affecting the next generation, it's affecting 2000, and so like, it's not